Hi everybody, this is Mr. McGibbon here, giving you a quick rundown of the activities program moving into next year and some of the changes that are on the way. Very exciting. First of all, before we start, thank you very much for your continued support for each other to create experiences that are meaningful, that are diverse, that help bring us together and help us practice leadership. Thank you for everything. Now, this has all happened. All of these wonderful experiences under a pretty difficult landscape. Things haven't been easy for us, like this boat getting stuck during the year. We've had a lot of challenges. We had an unusual start to the year. We've had COVID restrictions that have led us to not look as outward as we normally do. That's led to people feeling pretty run down at times, which has led to a lack of commitment in some of their activities and things that they have previously enjoyed. And for some students, this is all that they know. This is the activities program, but that's not all it can be. So I want to put something down here to you. I want to promote an activities program that's exciting and creative, full of great projects, that we have momentum, that it's constantly moving forward towards goals. It doesn't get stagnant and boring. We want to return a focus to positivity and optimism, which is central to UWC and our distinct ISAC mission, creating positive change, and realizing that if we have hope, we can believe things can change. So we need to build that in each other. And then to bring it back to helping students focused on what is important and what's needed, which is fundamental to the leadership practice. I do want us to have a series of elevated experiences that are the highlight of the school experience. So when you leave and you go on, you look back at your wonderful time at this school and go, wow, weren't the things that we did for each other and together meaningful? Weren't they amazing? And so what I've been doing is, over the past 3 months, I've been collecting feedback from a bunch of people constantly to try and work out where we're going to put our energy moving into next year. So I've met with student activity leaders. I've met with students at lunchtimes and lunchtime meetings. I've spoken to the strategic team of faculty for their feedback. And most recently, there was a faculty survey where I got faculty's opinion on what we can improve. Now, what we've decided to do is focus on these 6 areas, 6 major needs identified. I'll go through these together in overview, and then I'm going to do a deep dive into them so you know exactly what we're going to do. So number 1 is a need for effective student leadership in clubs and activities, big goals and impact measurement. We want to actually do things, and we want to sit back and measure how good those things were. 2 is to reestablish a robust competitive sports program in a post-COVID era. Number 3 is need for more leader support. So to help people who accept the responsibility for leadership, to help them grow. Number 4, a need for coaches and faculty support. Number 5, a need to improve attendance and accountability. And 6, a need to be more responsible and structured with resources, money, facilities, time, and calendar, etc. So what I'm presenting to you is what we're doing. It's informational. It's designed to show you the direction of the program so you can wrestle with that and you can get on board with this and be part of creating these wonderful changes. So let's have a look through these one by one. How we're going to try and meet this need is we're going to ask all activities to have an impact event of some kind, something on the calendar that can be measured. It's going to change us to focus on impact that we're having on our communities. Many clubs already do this. Some examples of this are online chess tournament. Perhaps a sustainability group could, when they roll out the new policy, we could have some sort of summit where we talk about how we interact with that. Forestry could do forest bathing and yoga weekend. Esports are already planning a UWC online tournament, which is going to be amazing. So the idea is if we have events on the calendar that are going to be fun, they don't need to be massive, but if they are there, it can help us move towards that goal, to celebrate, to measure ourselves and how effective we're being in our leadership. Number 2, robust competitive sports program. So COVID-19, we've taken a big hit with sports. So what we're going to do is reestablish the sports seasons for fall, winter, and spring. activities, those sports are not going to go all year, and they're going to be supported with coaches during the seasons. We're going to try and get in 2 trainings per week plus games. The dates that you see here coincide with local schools and international schools. So we have an opportunity, if COVID allows, for us to do invitationals, bring people in, or to go and travel to them. That's going to take a lot of coordination and a lot of work, and we want to start that immediately. If in the event it is difficult to get those things happening, we're going to create a Friday friendly tournament ourselves and invite people to play games with them at Kazukoshi Park, and the same for Saturday sports. We are going to not accept a situation where we're not ambitious, where we're not playing games against other people. We're going to do that. So a quick look at that. In the fall season, we're looking at volleyball, cross-country running, tennis, and soccer to put a focus on those. Winter season, basketball, swimming, gym and workout, and electronic sports. And spring season, badminton, soccer, and drone racing. That's not to say that the activities can't take place at other times, but this is where you're going to have support from faculty and coaches and the resources to be able to travel to different events. So we're going to bring focus to this. Also, it's not advantageous. I think some clubs have been running all year. It's not advantageous to not have seasons. So we're going to do that. Good news. Mr. Jemison's been working really hard for you guys, and he has secured a donor who is going to help us source jerseys. I don't know what you call it. We call them jerseys in Australia, but basically every competitive sporting team is going to have a subsidy of some kind so they can have official ISAC kit, which we're going to develop. We're currently finding a place that can provide them at reasonable cost, and that should be sorted before the end of this academic year. One more amazing thing that's happening is we are going to refurbish Honda Field. It is going to be fixed, and we are currently working on that, coming up with some designs so we can make the most of that space up there for the entire community. So we're going to ask for your opinion on all of these things before the end of this year. That's pretty exciting news. If you see Mr. Jemison, give him a high five or touch elbows. Is that a COVID thing? I think touch elbows. Or say thank you at the least. Now let's look at this. Number 3, a need for more leader support. We're talking about student leaders here. We are still going to run a core leadership team as part of activities, and I'm going to work closely with those guys to make sure that they're supportive of all the activities that are running. Further to this, if you accept a responsibility to run any club, we're going to ask you to do an organizing short course, which will go for about 4 hours and have some homework. The idea is if we do this, we will have a common understanding of what the expectations are. We can work through scenarios that are challenging, and we can just build a team of people that are going to be leaders. We're also chatting about having, maybe we can go on a retreat or something all together, just as a club and activity group, so we can build our capacity and have a bit of fun with this. I mean, you do the hard work, you need to stop and reflect and have some fun as well. So I'm going to support you in those ways. Next one, coaches and faculty. Faculty have been doing an amazing job of supporting their clubs, and we're moving forward. We're going to focus more of our energy in core activities and competitive sports to prioritize with faculty. These are the things that we say are most important, the core activities and sports for activities. So we're going to make sure that we put our resources there, and I think that makes sense. Here we go. 5 and 6 have a few more points. 5, a need to improve attendance and accountability. This is a big one. It comes up all the time, and we're going to deal with this situation. Another reason for having teachers be part of core clubs and sports is that attendance will be taken in manage back. We have to move towards this because we need to bring integrity for the Nagano Board of Education, who get a report on your activities, and the IB diploma requirement. In the past, we've sort of relied on students to put in the details, and it hasn't always been reflective of the program, and so we're not going to do that anymore. We're also going to have conversations with students that don't turn up to clubs, and we're going to intervene and ask them to leave the activity if they're not showing the commitment required, and in turn, their names will be taken off the roster. And we're hoping this is going to deal with the situation where people see clubs as optional sometimes. So we're not going to do that anymore. Number 2 is we're going to set a maximum limit on all clubs and activities before the fair. This will avoid a situation, which is ridiculous, where 40 people sign up for a club that really can't look after 40 people. I don't know why we haven't done this before, but we're going to put a limit on it. So in turn, you're going to have to, when sign up happens, you're going to have to be very quick to get into the club that you wish. Number 3, the advisor will be asked to moderate and approve activities with a student. Because things are going in ManageBack, advisors are going to know what activities you're running. And so the students have actually asked for this. We're going to put a limit of 3 activities per semester. Now, if you want to do more, you can do more. Absolutely. Some people are capable of doing a lot more than that. But before you are approved for that, we want you to sit down with your advisor and let them know that you're doing this and sort of have a conversation so they can help you sort of come to terms with what's important and what's needed, not from their perspective, but to help you process this a little bit. What we're finding is some people are signing up for 9 and 10 activities, and then their academics sort of falls to the ground, and they're not keeping up that part of the bargain. So we need to sort of work that out. This is a supportive measure. I don't think we'll be asserting that you need what you need to do. The student voice in this has been pretty clear. They actually do want a limit. But I think my take on that is I don't want to limit people that don't need the limit. And I want to support those people that are struggling with understanding what they're capable of right at this point. So let's just intervene and have this, and we'll see if this works. Number 4, activities will run through studying exam periods. Activities are not an add-on. They've been treated as such. And people in grade 12s or grade 11s have been saying, I've got something due this weekend, so I'm not going to come to a club or activity. That's not going to be a thing that is indulged anymore. These activities are a fundamental part of the experience. We are going to make some exceptions moving into grade 12 for grade 12 students. You'll have the option of leaving activities in the lead up to your final exams. You will also have the option to continue your activities through those exam periods, because I know activities give a wonderful, sometimes it's the most important thing. You need to do your activity to sort of forget about exams and things like that for a while and get back to a normal routine. So we are going to support you. If you want to opt out at that point, that's fine. If you're a leader, however, there'll be a handover sort of experience where you can pass things over to grade 11. A little bit more formal for next year. Number 6, this is lucky last, so stay with me. We need to be more responsible with structured with resources. I'm going to reestablish the activities calendar. This will be for events on campus. If you want to run something that requires resources, we're going to ask you to put on that calendar, and this way we can moderate, because there are so many clashes now. It causes a lot of stress, and we're just going to have a bit of an eye on that again, bring some shape to it. Number 2, core activities be limited to 3 per section, and they'll take place before 6 p.m. where possible. This will depend a lot on what teachers can and cannot do, because we will have teachers looking after core activities and sports, and that schedule will be out before the end of this year. Number 3, school funds won't be used to attract attendees. That means some clubs have got into the habit of ordering snacks so they can, because more people will come if there's snacks. And we're saying, no, we're not going to spend the resources for that. You're going to have to make your events more attractive in a different way. You're going to have to work harder to get people there other than dangling a carrot in front of their faces. That will require a change, and I'm happy to help you through that transition. Number 4, you'll need 8 people to be eligible to create a club. That is 1 person more than previous years. This is true as well for core activities. If you don't get 8 people, the activity won't be part of the activities program, and you won't have access to the resources that you need. That is because we're seeking to have less activities overall, and we're seeking to do it better. And this is a natural way that some activities won't be part of the program. here's another thing. You don't need your activity to be part of a program. If you want to do it, just do it. A lot of activities don't need to be part of the program. Number 5, budget approval is currently happening. Students are giving budget approval. And although that system theoretically works very well, it puts a lot of burden and stress on those activity leaders. So I'm going to take that over for the next year while we get things back on track. Also, I really want to bring focus to sustainable purchasing, which has been something that people have not really paid that much attention to. So if you're looking to buy something for your club, we're going to make sure we do that in a way that is respectful of our role as guardians of the environment. And I'm going to work pretty hard on making sure that we can get you what you need in a sustainable way. 6, I'm going to move all of the activity items to one location, so we will book them out and we can have more integrity in that system. And the last one here is we're going to not just schedule the gym for activities, we're going to schedule time for recreation and casual sports, things outside activities program, so no one is left out and you can have access to the same benefits but not have to be part of activities program. These are the next steps, changing gear here. So this is a presentation to you. I am going to make myself available for information sessions and things like that. Watch Barely Awake, because this month you're going to ask for activity descriptions to be completed and students to apply to be activity leaders into next year in an official way. In June, I'm going to ask faculty to sign up so we have our calendar completed for core sports, and we'll actually know what time of day next year our activities will take place and what time. In June, I'm going to try and get all transportation sorted with Junsuk and Kasakoshi bookings, so we don't have to start the year trying to sort that out. And moving into next year, we will have an online fair during orientation, similar to last year. So we'll ask for activity leaders to contribute to that and help make it amazing. I think that's it. I know I've gone quick, but I want to say thank you. Stay tuned. Share this information. Make sure people watch this video. It's important because it's an important part of the school experience. I will see you all soon. Stay tuned for information sessions and enjoy the rest of your day.